My name is Sarwat Ahsan. I'm the Executive Director with the CFA Society Pakistan. Welcome to the inaugural CareerFest session hosted by the CFA Society Pakistan. This session has been arranged so to ensure that you have access to some great CFA charter holders, top employers of CFA charters, and of course, we wanted all of you under one roof. So welcome to this event. We have planned a few sessions to ensure your professional growth and to facilitate your CFA journey. So there's this, you can scan this QR code to go on to this investment career accelerator network, which helps you. There's some questions that you'll get, and you can answer them to see whether CFA program is really for you, and if that would help you, it will help you decide whether this is the kind of career that you want. So with that, I think that that is all I have to tell you. With that, I will request Dr. Sana Tawseef. She is also a CFA charter holder, member of the CFA Society of Pakistan, and associate professor with the Institute of Business Administration, Karachi, to please take over the first session.
Okay, welcome everyone. So it's a wonderful initiative by CFA Society. As a CFA charter holder myself and as a faculty at IBA, I get to interact with many students who are pursuing or who plan to start their CFA journey. And what I've noticed is that while the interest and the awareness is increasing, there are still students who are confused on how the journey looks like and what career paths will open to them. So here we are, to discuss these things, and we have a wonderful panel of CFA charter holders here. I'll just mention their names and designations so if you want to ask targeted questions towards the end of the session. So we'll have a 40-minute session, discussion session, and then we'll open for Q&A for 10 minutes. So you can, ask the questions. From my extreme right, we have Sarosh. He is from Unilever. He's the finance business partner. Next, we have Gazanfar. Gazanfar is the manager strategy products and data science from Pakistan Stock Exchange. We have Mr. Shoaib. Next, he's the investment analyst, IFC. Next, we have Shamir. He is transaction advisory working at UBL. We have Sayeda Sharmeen. She is the Vice President, Corporate Finance and Advisory at Topline. And last but not least, Misbah. She's the Head of Investment Advisory at Atlas Asset Management. I welcome you all. Thank you so much for taking out time for the session. Just before we start with the discussion, a quick show of hands. How many of you are currently pursuing CFA? Okay, so we have few CFA candidates already. How many of you plan to enroll or start the CFA journey soon? Right. And anyone who is still confused on whether CFA is the right choice for you? Okay. So we have a good sense of the audience. I'm sure the discussion will be informative and useful for all the categories. So with that, let's start. And my first question would be slightly on the personal note, as on what motivated you to start with the CFA, and at what stage of your academic or professional journey you were at when you made this decision. So we can start from Sarosh. Yeah.
Hello. Am I audible? Okay. So just a quick introduction of myself. My name is Sarosh, and I became CFA charter holder last year in 2025. I graduated from LUMS in 2021 and have been in the industry for 5 years now, almost 5 years. So have pretty much of, seen a lot of things in the industry as well. So what motivated me for CFA was actually, it was right even before the start of university life, I would say. In A levels, so one of my, uh, bedtime hobby was to, trade commodities, like not with real money, but with virtual money. Yeah. So that's where my actually the interest for CFA started. I started, researching more about this career. How does a career in finance look like? And, had been researching, confused between CA, CFA, ACF. So a lot of confusion was there. But in the end, let's say when I got into lumps, when I started my ACF as well, during my academics as well, I would continuously do some research on what the world of finance looks like globally as well. And I would start managing my portfolio when I was student. So that's what actually, started my career journey, so CFA journey, I would say. The first exam when I appeared, that was in my final year, so in 2021. But the motivation started well before that. So yeah.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Mohammad Ghazanfar Sakrani and I'm working as Manager Strategy Products and Data Science at Pakistan Stock Exchange. I also became CFA charter holder in 2024. I received my charter last year and my journey started when I was doing my undergraduate. At that time, I knew that my interest lies in finance, but obviously in 2016, 2017, we did not had much awareness about these certifications and all. So luckily, my instructor, Mr. Amit Daulat, he was also a CFA charter holder, and he used to teach us from the CFA level 1 curriculum. And that is where I realized that, yes, this is manageable and this is where my interest lies. So that is the point where I decided that I will be pursuing my CFA journey. And I was also fortunate enough, and I would like to advise you all also to explore the CFA scholarships also, because because of CFA Access Scholarship, I was able to give level 1 and level 2 exams. So when I received CFA Access Scholarship for level 1 in 2020, then I was firm that I need to pursue this journey, and I thought that this means for me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. My name is Shoaib. I'm working as an investment analyst at IFC, which is a part of the World Bank Group. To be really honest, I just gave my charter exam because a lot of my friends were giving it. So I was in the final year. I was a curious kid, not knowing where I was going. A lot of my friends pushed me to give the CFA exam. It was, it was a community thing. Everybody was studying. I said, let's just give it a shot. And gladly I cleared it before, I think, yes, in my final year, I gave the exam. And at that time, you could only give the level 1 exam. But from now, I hear that you can give 2 exams before graduating. So that's, I think, a plus for you guys. You can complete, if you intend to, you can complete your charter pretty early. But deep down the road, finance is something that grew on me. It wasn't something that I had planned in my final year, I'd be very honest. But as I gave the first exam, I started my career at a Jubilee Life Insurance in investments, and it was something that I really enjoyed. Working my first 6 to 7 months at the institution really pushed me towards, getting much deeper into it, gaining more knowledge, and this was just the curiosity that brought me towards this designation and giving the rest of the 2 exams. Thanks.
Hi guys, this is Shamir. I work in transaction advisory and strategic initiatives at UBL. So I was doing ACF and I didn't want to do accounting. I hated accounts. So I took an internship in investment banking end of my 3rd year, and I met a few CFA charter holders and I saw what they were doing, the kind of work they're doing. And there's a lot of prestige associated with it too, especially investment banking over there. So I decided I would try and give it a shot, given that I didn't want to go towards accounting. And then when I cleared the first level in universities, so same, we could only give level 1 in university back then. I cleared that. That actually helped me land a job at where I interned. And then over there, I kept on doing new forms of work, interacting with more CFA charter holders, and that led me to wanting to finish this as soon as possible because I really wanted to get the comma CFA next to my name. It's you work very hard to get that comma, but my motivation was I didn't want to do accounts, and this was something which is broad enough where you can explore different fields because everyone over here they're all doing different things, even though same CFA charter. So it's not something where you're confined. There's lots you can do with it. Thanks.
Great. Very interesting story so far, Sharmi.
Hi guys, so I'm Sharmeen Ahmed. I'm currently the Vice President for Corporate Finance and Advisory at Topline Securities. I was previously the Head of Short-Term Borrowings and Banking Relations, K Electric mein. I'm also an IBA graduate. Okay, so unlike all of these guys, I actually started my CFA right after graduating. So because I'm the first batch of accounting and finance from IBA, so at that time we had an option for going for chartered accountancy in Pakistan. We had an exemption of the first 4 modules, right? So that was one very popular option to pursue at that time. But I was fortunate enough to know some of the market leaders at that time who were able to guide me. So I had an option between, because I had to do something educationally after IBA. So I had an option of, going for either a CA or CFA. But thankfully enough, I was guided by the right kind of professionals that, I think finance is a way more broader field than just accountancy. And thankfully, I took the right path. But also what I'd like to add is the fact that, contrary to popular belief that, finance is all about numbers, and I'm sure a lot of people scare you that, these are desk jobs and all of that. But finance is actually the one driving business decisions because I have worked on the industry side as well, other than, right now I'm brokerage, but before all of my experience belongs to the industry. So finance is the key business driver. So when you have a CFA, I won't say that it will take you to places, but it will definitely add to the prestige that you need as a finance leader. So it will always give you that edge in the market.
Thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Misbah Parvez and I am the Head of Investment Advisory at Atlas Asset. It's an AMC asset management company. So my CFA motivation started not in my university days, I would say, but probably after that. It happened so that I was doing my bachelor's and I was very clear on one thing, that I didn't want to go for master's right after graduating. So I was looking for something more of a specific field, I would say, because finance in bachelor's is very over the top. Because it doesn't get you all the information, details mein bahut zyada jo hai wo it doesn't go into it. So I wanted something more deeper. So then I had a few friends and industry mentors who guided me that there are like fields ACCA, CFA, and then I started studying on my own. So like after bachelor's, giving 4 years in the bachelor's, and then you have to start ACCA. How long does it take? Then CFA interested me in such a way that it's more like investments, more into markets. You are always on the toes in the sense that you are always watching the news and you are always in the news also, because it's very like one news is there and the markets react suddenly. So that is what interested me and made me pursue my charter.
Right. Interesting. Very honest insights. So my next question would be, I think Sharmeen and a couple of others also mentioned that there's a perception that CFA automatically opens up certain specific career paths. And whenever you think of CFA, then only those specific careers come to your mind. So what are actually the ground realities, from your experiences when you started your journey, when you started your, jobs or continued with your careers, after completing your CFA? What challenges, what opportunities, what we hear about, those specific career paths? How true is that, or anything that you want to share on that? Again, let's start with Sarosh. we have separate?
Hello. So, Sana, I would say the perception in market really is that, CFA opens doors automatically in some certain fields, right? But in my last 5 years of experience, what I've seen is that it's not actually true because, so see, CFA, the curriculum, everything, it does open doors for you in your careers, but you need to be, you know, you need to have clarity as well that what you want to do with that education, with that knowledge that you get. So, for example, I was really interested in trading in equity markets, in global commodity markets. So that really, got my attention in my bachelor's as well. So right after graduation, I started my career in equity research. I passed CFA level 1, started my job right away after graduating, and I worked for 1 year in equity research. And that 1 year actually taught me a lot of things. I passed level 2 in that year as well. But the knowledge that I got in equity research, doing extensive research on daily basis. My day would start at 8 a.m. in the morning. We would read all the relevant, newspapers, what happened globally, what's happening locally, how would that impact the market, what is the future outlook. We would be on top of that information, financial modeling skills. We developed a lot of new skills there. Bloomberg Chalana Sikha, everything, we were on top of it. But, as soon as I shifted to Unilever, that was a completely different set of experience. So when I joined Unilever, I was managing the P&L now. So it wasn't research per se, it wasn't from an outsider analyst perspective, it was right in the heart of, let's say, business. And as Sharmeen also mentioned, that finance right now is driving a lot of business decisions. So for example, a common example would be that there are inflationary pressures, for example, right now coming from oil prices, coming from, let's say, all these Middle East crisis impacts, and this impacts a lot of businesses. So how does the business respond to it? Do I have pricing power? Can I pass on all the costs to my consumers? If yes, what is the, let's say, adverse impact that we see? So all these, business decisions, when you, let's say, when you are equipped with all these skills, aista aista it becomes, let's say, easier to understand all these problems. What CFA taught me was कि आप छोटी बड़ी problem को छोटे से, let's say, pockets में आप किस तरह इसको break down करते हो, and how do I solve those problems? What is the sensitivity of all those things? So it wasn't just equity research, I would say, जिसने मेरा, let's say, अभी तक career में मुझे फ़ायदा दिया, but actually it's the last 3 years in Unilever which has, taught me a lot on how to go about it. So yeah, CFA opens a lot of doors, but again, you need to choose your, let's say, career path after, you acquire that knowledge as well.
Well, thank you. I would like to say कि अगर आप लोगों को देखना है कि what are the career choices in CFA, I think this panel is a very diverse. इसमें आपको you will see a portfolio manager, someone from the education industry, someone from the corporate. I am representing the regulator. But yeah, there are different career options. The most traditional are the equity research, fixed income research, portfolio management. But I have realized that because I have worked in the capital market infrastructure, the exchange, the depository, the national clearing, and I have realized that understanding how the markets function is the main thing when you want to bring any change in the market ecosystem. आपको पता होना चाहिए international markets में what products are available, and In CFA आपने सारी products almost पढ़ी होती हैं, swaps पढ़े होते हैं, and you study about derivatives and stuff, and there is another niche. I would not say अब तो niche नहीं है, but there is a field of sustainable finance or the data analysis or the artificial intelligence. These are the fields जो कि अब हर industry को impact करेंगे. For example, AI will impact all the industry. Data analysis is required everywhere, and every company will now focus towards the sustainable transition. And what I liked about CFA is they are also providing certifications related to these fields. For example, the ESG investing, which is now the sustainable investing, they also provide certifications about data analysis. So I would suggest that don't restrict yourself to certain career choices only because CFA opens up the arena for you. But remember that you have to keep yourself updated about what is happening in the markets, because just the CFA title, it will bring you to the employer, but at the end of the day, they will look at your attitude, they will look at your communication skills and everything else. So this is the entire package. With CFA, you should work on your personal development also. Thank you.
Okay, so I would like to put it that I don't think there is any alternative to experience. CFA does open doors for you. It would definitely, put you in certain interview rooms, but it would be you at the end of the day who would be, taking yourself from there. Because what I experienced was that I had the CFA level 1 exam, and it was very beneficial for me to land interviews. But in the interviews, it's you and only you. You need to have the industry knowledge, you need to be curious, you need to know what exactly are you doing and why are you sitting there and what do you want to do with your life. It's some questions that you need to keep asking yourself repeatedly. I know a lot of us still, I'm sitting here and we still ask our question every now and then. So to summarize, I think the CFA opens doors for you to for the interview tables, and at the end of the day, it's you with your curiosity, how you build up your knowledge, what you want to do with your life, and if you put your mind to it, everything is doable right now. It's not so difficult, to be honest. It's just like you want to do this, you start researching about it, you're reading about it, and see how things are going on in the industry. Read if you want to for finance, you need the newspapers, the business recorder in locally, or maybe read some international literature, Financial Times, Economist, see how the experts in the industry are thinking, what are they talking about, what is disrupting the industry, and so basically read more, gain more knowledge, and just if you want to do something, just there's no alternative to hard work, and that's it, I guess.
With what he said, because all the CFA will do, let's say you're level 1, 2, 3, or you've passed at the starting of your career, it'll just open the door for you, and the rest is all you. I've had situations where I've gone for an interview, I was banking, I'm a charter holder, so they might not ask me certain things, and I did get asked, and I felt that perhaps because of CFA they shouldn't have, but they did. And I should have prepared better. I should have focused more on perhaps soft skills, knowing more about the market. And in general, it's not going to be just the answer. It'll just get your foot in the door. The rest of it is how much... I think it's very easy to stand out right now, especially when you're going for interviews and all of this. I think it's a factor of willingness to learn, your drive, because you can show that you have drive, and I think a willingness to learn and a drive is very important, and other soft skills, how you talk, how you present yourself, how you respond to challenges, it's very important. But it's not going to be an answer. It'll just help people take you more seriously, but then when they start talking to you, you have to know enough as well to carry that forward. Thank you.
So I'd just first say that you guys should breathe. I see all the scared faces after hearing all of this serious discussion. Trust me on this when I say this. I have 9 years of experience on me, and I have had a upwards trajectory in my career, alhamdulillah. it is not so difficult. First, learn to be yourself. Every individual is different, right? So there is no one path that you can follow to success. Be yourself, as everyone else said here. Learn, build upon your interpersonal skills. That is very, very important. Carry the right attitude with you. Your right attitude will get you through interviews, through places. Trust me, as someone who has hired a lot of people over the period of 9 years, the the thing that every employer is actually looking for is your attitude, your willingness to learn. Otherwise, the rest of it, no matter how much you read up on stuff, no matter how much you talk about what you have done, what you haven't, if there is no, if you do not have the right attitude, you probably won't make it through those interviews, right? So
I totally agree with Shameen's point of view, and I would do one more in the sense that definitely openness and willingness to learn is one aspect of it. But before that, you need to know yourself as well. You need to know your strengths, and you need to know where that strength lies. Because sometimes we say finance is a very diverse field. We all panelists are there to show you that there is a different flavors of finance. Even if CFA is there, but finance ko hum overall bhi dekhe to there are a lot of things there. Accounting, auditing, everything is there. But investments ke andar bhi jo hai wo there are different flavors. You see, we have a regulator here, and we are from the corporates as well. So know your strengths in the sense if you are whether you are into investing purely or whether it's more towards the advisory side, whether you are client facing or you are not, you want to do a desk job, you want to face the world, you want to pitch in clients. So that's basically the strengths will tell you, your strengths will tell you where that dimension is going to go. And secondly, you have to be open to learn from anywhere. Like right now you are all in your university years, flexible about it. Because sometimes what happens is you know that you have to go a certain path, but there are different hurdles that come in or different opportunities that comes in. So that would help you to kind of maneuver your paths differently. So don't just be very focused on it, but yeah, you have to be disciplined enough to focus on what you want to do.
Okay, thank you. I think बहुत अच्छे points हैं, but I would say कि एक balance रखना ज़रूरी है. So it's not that you just because things have changed from the time जब हमने किया था, especially मैंने CFA किया था back in 2010 it was. So अब जो है वो when you're a university student तो फिर आपको competition is so tough कि आपको कुछ और add on चाहिए होता है. When you go into the market फिर it's not your profile is never enough and you need to keep building on. So wonderful tips. Just last quick question, because there are many students who are already pursuing or who will soon be enrolling in CFA and preparing for the exam. So, a quick tip from you, what is one way they should focus on when it comes to preparing for the CFA exam? Any one of you, can answer. Whoever wants.
So I think consistency is the most important thing. That if you're preparing for an exam, let's say it's in 4 or 5 months, and you decide today that, okay, 1 hour every weekday, 2 hour every weekend, you cannot skip. You cannot say, I'll do it later. You're making a commitment. It's a tough exam, yes, but if you're consistent, it's manageable. So for me, the most important thing was consistency. Okay? If you have a calendar, you write down your date, you write down your weekly, what you want to do every week, and you stick to it. So I think consistency is probably one of the most important things.
That's true. Yes.
Well, I would like to add to this point, consistency, yes, that does matter. But एक और जो मेरा personal experience है वो ये है कि exam से 1 महीने पहले तक भी you will feel कि मेरा exam clear नहीं होगा. But still you'll have to remain consistent. And just make a plan that how I have to study this, notes में से क्या पढ़ना है, what curriculum में से क्या क्या चीज़ें करनी है, which topics should I give more focus on, because there is a weightage for each topic. If you have a clear plan and you are consistent and you are devoting at least 1 or 2 hours daily, and then I think that it is easily manageable. But last moment तक definitely ऐसा लगता है कि I am not going to clear it. This is pretty normal.
So I agree with Ghazanfar and Sarosh, right? Shamir. Basically, consistency is key, right? Making a plan is also key because, while hard work is a great thing, there's also this thing called smart work that is more important, that will take you to better places in life probably. But obviously, there's no alternate to hard work as well. I would not discount that. Also, everyone has their own timeline, right? Stop comparing yourself to others. We unfortunately have grown up in a society where even parents keep on comparing their own children, right? I've seen that all around me. Do not compare yourself with others. Trust me on this when I say this, you are just competing with your own self, right? And everything can take time. Maybe you will not pass it on the first attempt, right? That is completely fine. There is no harm. Just as life is not a race, learn to rest, learn to enjoy life as well. And then just keep on going. As he said, that consistency is very important. Just keep on working towards a goal, and inshallah you will all achieve it, but at your own timelines. So do not rush anything.
Yeah.
I think I would add discipline and something additionally, एक और चीज़ के have confidence in yourself. तैयारी की है आपने, मतलब you took all your time, you've prepared well, you followed a disciplined schedule, you are committed, you are everything. Have confidence in the end. Okay, you've studied well, you'll do it. Keep yourself motivating this way, and I think you'll probably do it well.
Yeah. So at the end, exam is just an exam. I'd like to start with that. Treat it like a math problem. The CFA itself, I think, advises 200 to 300 hours of study. Break it down as, flexibility. Bring that flexibility as, it depends on you how much you want to study week per week, but it's better to have a schedule and stick to it rather than, just rambling at the end and cramming everything. The CFA course is extensive. I don't want to put fear into you because that's how the way it is, and that's why, there are a limited number of charter holders out there. But build your concepts, whenever you're studying, try to really understand it. If, not just, because a lot of people study just for, giving the exam, but I would say to just add a little curiosity to it. Try to understand what, the thing, how is it being implemented in the practical life, so that what it does is, if you can relate to it, you'll remember it far longer. And the repetition, and one last thing, practice. This is true for all the exams, not just necessarily CFA. I'm giving GRE these days, so it's practice makes a man perfect. It definitely does. And for the CFA, there are questions on the portal. There are 2 to 3 mocks. You can find other mocks and practice questions on other resources as well. So I would definitely advise you to practice more. And best of luck, guys.
Thank you for the wonderful tips. It's important that you study for curiosity, to gain knowledge rather than just to clear the test. वो तो eventually हो ही जाएगा if you've put in enough effort. So with that, we close the discussion. We open the floor for the questions. If you have any questions in general for the panelists or specifically for particular panelists, please feel free to ask.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name is Shahan Aziz from IBA Karachi. I wanted to have your perspective on AI. As we have seen, Claude, GPT, AI has developed very much, even more than our imagination. It is creating financial models, editing Excel sheet and doing everything. So I would like to have your perspective on how it would affect finance overall, the jobs, and overall how will CFA certification help us, or how will it affect CFA certification? Thank you.
Yeah, so I think AI is disruptive, yes, but in finance right now, there's a lot of use cases. Right? You need to be very proficient, and not even proficient, you need to be fluent in AI, especially as you go into the finance world, because you will have situations you need research done, and also now, at least in my team, everyone has paid subscriptions for either AI or either ChatGPT or Claude. And so we get things done very fast. And I've had a few individuals who've joined who aren't too proficient in AI, and they're not able to keep up with the team. So I've had situations where we're evaluating a company, we need some quick numbers, and so financial model, we asked it to run a DCF. In 15 minutes, I had some numbers I could work on. So yes, AI is being used, and it will continue to be used more. But what matters the most for all of you is you have to get comfortable with it, and you have to be good at it, especially in prompt engineering. Right? If you're, because in your entry level, you might be doing, depends where you are, but you might be doing a lot of research. Let's say you're at some firm, you're evaluating some investment, you have financial spreads, you want analysis on that. So as much as AI can do it for you, your analysis, you as the individual, should you have theoretical knowledge, you will use AI as a tool and not the answer. So AI will do financial analysis for you, but as the financial analyst yourself, you will have to see, evaluate, is this correct? What can be changed? The ratios, are they right? Are they not? And then you go ahead. So I think it's an integral part and will continue to be more important as we go on. But it's about you as the person using it.
So adding to just what Shamir just said, he's completely correct that it gets you AI, Claude, and ChatGPT and everything. It gets you do things at a faster pace. But these are, again, you have to treat AI as a value addition tool and not the tool as a replacement for your own hard work, right? Do not ever handicap yourself with these tools, because I've actually seen live examples from IBA, some recent graduates who have literally found this. So Claude is the best thing as someone who works in the brokerage house. Claude actually makes presentations for you, financial models for you. But trust me, I have seen the reality of being actually handicapped because of that. AI is again a system, it will make mistakes. And then when you have not really worked the ground up, right? You will actually not know how to solve those problems which are in those models and everything. So there is no alternate to hard work. Just treat AI as a way of getting things done faster and as a value addition to your work, but not your actual work.
Hi, I'm Fatma from IBA, and I had a question that how did you guys manage or balance your studying for the CFA exam with your work and personal commitments, and what was the major part that you faced challenging in giving the exam or for preparing for the CFA exam?
So preparing for the exam is definitely tough. You've definitely heard of the horror stories of you have to give a lot of time and you have to sacrifice everything. That is, to an extent, it is true, but you should have a good support system so that when you are studying, you have those supporting cast, basically. जो हम कहते हैं ना कि movies के अंदर एक supporting cast होती है, that makes or breaks a movie. So your preparation would be dependent on those supporting family members, close friends. You have to have a discipline and you have to have a supporting members of the family so that when you are studying, you are giving your 100% there. You don't have any other tensions or you don't have to worry about it. Even at work, you have to manage your time in such a way that you are doing your work at the corporate side and you are preparing for your exams as well. There are definitely different companies that do give the leverage, do give the time to prepare you, but there are definitely other companies that don't give you that time. So you have to manage accordingly. Basically, you have to be flexible enough to kind of manage in both the conditions.
All right, thank you so much.
So to answer your question, मेरा, for example, मेरा personal experience ये था कि in my life there was not just work and studies. You have to mix up different things. Saturday दोस्तों में बैठना ज़रूरी है. Sunday family के साथ जाना भी ज़रूरी है. अब weekend में, for example, 5 weekdays हैं. I used to study 4 days. First week में Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Second week में Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So you have to take all the activities together. Yes, obviously बाकी चीज़ें impact होती हैं, but I think when you realize कि सिर्फ 3 साल की बात है, 3 साल से पहले भी हो सकता है, तो I think then you can manage it. But it is very important that if you are in sports, you should carry on with that. You should meet your friends, you should meet your relatives, your family members. Otherwise नहीं हो पाता. तो ये सारी चीज़ें I think balance रख के चलना ज़रूरी है.
So in my experience, CFA का सबसे बड़ा challenge ही है कि you need to manage your time, because the content, honestly, it's very interesting. If you are really interested in finance, you will like it a lot. You will want to invest time in it. The challenge is कि CFA जब भी आप exams देते हो, तो it's not just the exams. You either have a professional career, or let's say in level 1, especially अगर मैं देखूँ तो you are mostly in your final years. And final years में it's not just let's say courses per se, but it's a whole experience that you are, giving farewell to in university life especially. So the most difficult thing is actually time management. And उसी पे ही like a few minutes ago everyone mentioned कि consistency is the key, right? You need to manage your time, you need to be consistent about it, and if you are really interested in the content, I think you will get through it. It's just the time management which you need to focus on.
So thank you so much, panel members, for the insightful talk, discussion, and to the audience for such relevant, important questions. With this, we close the session.
Next speaker, Ms. Rahila Narejo is here. She is, Ms. Rahila is a renowned HR consultant, and
You're doing? Yes,
Ji,
I
thank
can
you so
see
much.
and hear you.
Thank you so much. We have, I hope you can see us, the students here, and I will hand it over to you so that you can introduce yourself and continue with the session, start the session on Career Glow Up. Over to you, Rahila.
All right, thank you so much. So, Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Thank you for the invitation to speak at your event. And I hope my voice is audible, it's clear. Yes? Okay. I'm assuming it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect. So today, I know you guys are here to learn more about your field, your industry, and I'm here to share with you something that maybe other people don't tell you. So look at me as your advisor, your guide, not just for your educational degree, but now how to turn that degree into something fruitful that can enable you to live the best life you possibly can. So if that sounds good, you are in the right place. So I'm just going to share my screen with you. I've put together a few slides to help us understand what is it we're going to be talking about in the Career Glow Up session. So is my screen sharing visible now? Yes? Yes? Okay, I'm a very needy person, so I need a little bit of feedback just to make sure that we are all on the right track and we are aligned. So I appreciate any feedback I can get. So wonderful. So we are here to look at, and I'm going to give you a little bit of introduction, but before I talk about myself, I want to share with you why are we here in this particular session. We're going to be talking about the psychology of executive visibility on LinkedIn. And why is this important, especially at this moment in time? We are now living in an AI era, right? And who hasn't used AI, ChatGPT, all right, most likely, or Claude, to help you write things, analyze things, put together presentations, right, to do so many things to make your life so much easier. So in this AI era, being polished is no longer a big deal. एक ज़माना था कि polished, professional दिखना was like, okay, that was enough. But now everyone can have a very polished presence online. You can ask AI to write you your headline. You can ask AI to write your about summary. You can even ask AI to write you posts to put onto your LinkedIn profile. But whatever you ask AI to do is going to do it for you, and it's going to do a pretty good job. So being polished is not the challenge anymore. It's no longer an edge, right? Like I said, एक ज़माना था कि polish होना, अच्छा दिखना एक बड़ा फायदेमंद होता था. But now everyone can do it. But in this age of AI, what people don't understand is something we all have right here, right now with us. Everyone, if you put your hand on your head, what is inside here? It's a brain, and it's a human brain. It's not an AI brain. Unfortunately, the way AI works, it understands whatever we feed it. But we need to take control and understand and guide AI with the understanding of how the human brain works, not the algorithmic brain, but the human brain. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I'm going to give you some really practical tips. So if you have a phone or you have a laptop, if you have access to your LinkedIn profile, I want you to be doing things right now, because kal ke liye chhodna is useless. Nothing happens tomorrow. If it's going to happen here and now. And why the science of executive visibility on LinkedIn is because you have a very big, nice qualification, right? CFA, all these degrees you have accumulated, but being qualified is no longer enough. It is the minimum baseline to be competitive in this world of work, in this modern day age of work. Being noticed for your qualification is a whole nother story. Are you being noticed? Are you grabbing people's attention amongst all the other people, maybe even sitting in this room here right now, who have the exact same qualification as you? Why would someone notice you over everyone else here? And most importantly, are you being chosen? Are you being selected for the opportunities that you really want, right, for your career growth and acceleration? So that's what we're going to be focusing on. You got the qualification down, but being noticed and being chosen, it is closely linked to understanding how the brain pays attention and what the brain engages with, the human brain, and what it takes action on. But don't worry, I'm going to be sharing with you the answers today. So my name is Rahila Nurijo. By education, I'm a psychobiologist, and I did my master's in the field of the neuroscience of leadership. So just looking at those two qualifications, you probably will understand when I talk about the brain, I'm not talking out of thin air. This is actually my area of expertise, which I have been using for now almost 23 years in my work as a corporate consultant, advising Fortune 500 level organizations throughout Pakistan. And along the way, various qualifications and certifications to help me in my role. And if people have not met me before, but maybe you are of the era where we used to read newspapers. So there was a time between 2006 and 2016, a decade of time, where I wrote a weekly column for the Dawn newspaper called Workplace Sanity, where people wrote in letters about career workplace issues. And using my understanding of psychology and the human brain, I gave them some uncommon, common sense advice. So for 10 years, that column was published. And then in 2017, I took the best of the best pieces and put them into a book called Workplace Sanity, which is now available on Amazon as well. So over this last 23 years, I've worked on both sides of the table. I've worked as a recruiter, as a headhunter for several years, especially early in my career, early 2000s. And then I started working on the other side of the table, inside organizations, training hiring managers, training HR leaders on how to select the right talent. So competency modeling, competency-based interviewing, design and execution of assessment centers and development centers, psychometric testing. So helping organizations now make the selection decision. So I've sat on both sides of the table. So whatever I'm sharing with you today is based on my insider knowledge and experience. And what you see in front of you right now are just a sampling of the clients I've worked with over these last 2 decades. And this is just a sampling because there's over 100 plus organizations, but I can't fit everyone onto this screen. So what are we going to be talking about? In the next about 20 minutes, what I'm going to be sharing with you are 4 things. The big shift that is going on in the world of work, and especially in careers and career development and career acceleration. Number 2, why strong people get overlooked. Like all of you here are very academically, qualification-wise, very sound. Even maybe you have a lot of experience under your belt. You're very sound. But I'm here to tell you, this is not going to get you anywhere. This is the bare minimum. In this extremely crowded market, extremely intensive competition for attention, human attention, that's not going to get you the attention that you need to really take your career to the next level. Number 3, I'm going to share with you the selection model. How selection actually occurs, keeping the human brain in mind so that you can, with this understanding, better position yourselves to capture the attention, capture the engagement, and even trigger the action of the human brains you need on your side to grow your career. And then I'm going to walk you through some quick exercises to get your LinkedIn profile aligned, and let's get going. Plus, I'm going to give you a chance to get a special resource that I've put together especially for CFA Society. So I'm super excited. I hope you're excited too. So let's just jump in. Number 1, the shift. What is this big shift going on? And I already hinted about it. It's the AI, right? AI is everywhere. It's in everything you do. And don't tell me you haven't used AI. If you have not used AI in any part of your work or personal or professional life, something is wrong. Okay, we have to join the AI bandwagon. Otherwise, we are already way behind. So like I was sharing with you, polished is just the baseline. Everyone has the opportunity now to write a beautifully crafted, well-articulated, perfect grammar, no spelling mistakes, profiles. You can put together a LinkedIn profile very quickly. All you have to do, hint, hint, tell ChatGPT, act like an expert LinkedIn profile maker, and just tell it what to do for you. It's done in mere microseconds. So this is not the competitive edge anymore. So there's no use to hire someone to make your LinkedIn profile. You can actually do a pretty good job of it yourself. So also, it's not about just having a polished profile and showcasing your qualifications, your degrees, your certificates, but that's not enough anymore. Because like I said, we're all competing. There's a lot of qualified people out there in the market. Instead, what we need to learn how to do is become easy to be noticed in the attention of the decision makers, easy to be remembered, so that jab opportunity aaye, right? Opportunities don't come up every day, but jab wo opportunity khule, so sabse pehla naam has to be yours. That comes to mind. So easy to be remembered and easy to repeat, to share. People can share you, pass you on. Because no one, this is what I tell all my clients, my executive coaching clients, no one climbs the career ladder anymore. No one climbs it. People get carried up the career ladder by others. So you need to be able to embed yourself in the memory and in the vocabulary of the people who are going to be influencing the decisions that impact you and your career future. So how do we do that? Let's take a look here, okay? So here are two options. These are two sample LinkedIn headlines, right? Something very simple. Option A, right? We have the qualifications, the title, senior leader, strategy, growth, transformation, maybe even your qualification, right? Where you worked, X telecom, X, mobile link, whatever you want to put. Lots and lots of qualification. Option B, I help leadership teams turn strategy into execution under pressure. What's the difference and which one is better and why? That is the question. All right. What's the difference? Option A, it's a laundry list of all your titles and achievements. Option B is not just about you, it's about them. Who you want to grab the attention of. And how you grab someone's attention is if you can solve a very painful, current, and pressing problem for them. And that's what option B does. And guess which one is better? Option B. Because unfortunately, a lot of us, including a lot of you sitting here right now, think that the LinkedIn, your profile, is about you. It is not. Okay, all right. It's about you, all right? It's your name, it's, all those details about you. But it cannot be written for you as if it's a CV. It's not a CV. That's a completely different document. Your LinkedIn profile is about the person whose attention you want to grab, whose emotional engagement, you want them to be invested in you and curious about you, emotionally curious about you, and you want that person to take some action to move closer to you, either to follow you, connect with you, message you, give you a call, whatever the action is you want them to do, you need to tell them what to do. So just a little hint what I'm talking about here. I hope a lot of you are taking notes, okay? Take notes. If you really want to grow in your career, always jot down the key ahas that come to you as they come, because brain science tells us short-term memory only lasts 5 to 8 seconds. If you don't write it down, it's gone. You'll never take action on it again. So hard to grasp, hard to recall, hard to repeat. A is like, okay, so what? That's you, but what does it mean for me? What's in it for me? That's the question B answers, and that's what your headline needs to do. Because if within 2 seconds or even 1 second, if someone comes to your profile and within a second they don't get the answer to the question, what's in it for me? They're going to bounce. They're going to go to the next profile. The brain moves on because no one's brain is going to sit down and analyze your profile and try to figure out, maybe this person is who I'm looking for. Maybe they have the answer to my pain. Maybe they can solve the problem or the challenge our organization is facing. Nobody is going to do that because the brain essentially does not like to do this type of hard thinking. Now, I'm going to get all neuroscience nerdy on you, and I want you to do a little exercise with me so you understand how the brain works. All right, I'm going to throw some numbers at you. Since you're all, very good in maths, I'm sure it should be very easy. You're going to just sum those two numbers together, and you're going to shout out the answer back, okay, to me. I can't hear you. I wish I could hear you, but I can't hear you. But I want you to follow along and shout out the answer as I give you some sums to do. All right, so ready? First sum. 1 plus 1. I can't hear you, so I hope you said the answer. All right. If I could hear, it would be great. Is it possible for me to hear? All right, no? Okay, let's do it again. 1, yes, I can hear.
So we need you to say that louder.
Oh, I need to say it louder?
Not, no, no, no. Rahila, can
Oh,
you hear me?
I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you before. I can hear you now. Okay, so let's do it. 1 plus 1. Good. 2 plus 2. I can't hear you.
4.
Yes, good job. 4 plus 4. Good. 8 plus 8. 74 plus 92. Okay, all right, okay. All right, I hope you're understanding what we just did. 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2. Your brain is a pattern recognizing machine. And these types of sums, you've done it probably 100,000 times in your lifetime so far. It's not thinking work. This type of calculation has already been automated into your subconscious brain. When did you actually have to do thinking work? And when we do thinking work, we are using the part of our brain right here. So everyone put your hand on your forehead, right behind your forehead. It's called the prefrontal cortex. This is where you do all your thinking, analysis, logical thinking, calculation, decision making, creative thought. It all happens right here, called the prefrontal cortex, or PFC for short. And interestingly, the brain, your brain, my brain, does not like to use the prefrontal cortex. If you notice, when I gave you the last sum and you had to think, you actually had to calculate, you probably felt a little bit of resistance. ये क्या है? अब सोचना भी पड़ेगा? मैं तो आराम से सुन रहा था, या सुन रही थी. अब सोचना भी पड़ेगा? This is absolutely normal because the brain does not like to use this part of it because it uses a lot of blood glucose energy. It is energy intensive. And as a survival mechanism, the body, including the brain, is programmed to conserve energy, right? To save energy. And we only use certain systems if it's absolutely necessary for our survival. Like if I was your boss and I gave you that sum, you would do it right away, right? Because that was necessary for your survival. But otherwise, we avoid thinking. So what makes you think if someone comes to your LinkedIn profile, they're going to invest time and blood glucose energy trying to figure out your profile and trying to figure out and analyze and calculate and reach a decision whether you are the person they've been looking for? That is why no one does it. The brain moves on and it keeps moving on until it comes to a profile that answers all their questions within a second. And that is the job of your LinkedIn profile. And that is why, despite having very strong qualifications, a whole lot of experience under your belt, good people still get overlooked. They still get passed over. And other maybe less qualified or less experienced people get the opportunities. It's because you don't understand how the brain operates in making a selection decision. So they think, a lot of, maybe you are thinking this, a lot of people that I've met think that if I say more, explain more, and polish more, people will notice me. No. It's not about giving more. It's about giving less and giving them exactly what they are looking for. So it's about adapting your online LinkedIn presence to the audience, the decision maker's brain, whose attention you want to grab and engage, right? So the goal is not to look impressive. It is to be remembered easily. So make it easy for the brain. Make it what I like to call a no-brainer. People don't have to use their brain to figure you out. It's a no-brainer. You make it so obvious. So what is that? How do we do that? How do we make it so easy for someone to guess or to understand who we are, what we do, and how we can help them? So let me introduce you to the actual selection model. What is happening behind the scenes? We think that merit alone leads to attention, and attention automatically goes into memory. People will remember, and they will then choose us. But merit doesn't matter. Merit is the baseline. If you don't have merit, you're not even in the game. If you have merit, you are starting at the beginning, the starting line of the race to be selected. Without merit, you can't even stand at that starting point. So merit is a must-have minimum. But what happens after that? We just sit back and we wait. That everything is going to happen automatically. You cannot wait any longer. In this age of AI, you need to understand how to nudge people's brains, nudge the attention, nudge memory formation, and nudge selection or choice. So what are we talking about? We're talking about 3 phases that you have to guide the decision maker's brain through. First phase is attention, second is emotion, and third is action. No attention, no entry into the brain. If you cannot grab attention of the decision maker, you don't even enter the brain, because the brain does not pay attention to everything. It's not designed to pay attention to everything. If your brain paid attention to every single thing in the environment, you would go crazy. Every sound, every smell, every sensation, your brain would not explode. It won't be able to handle it. So the brain is very, very selective as to what it's going to invest its attention in. So I'm going to share with you what gets the attention. Once you have attention and you're in that first door, you need some type of emotional connection. They need to know that you are meaningful, you are important for their goals, their challenges, their aspirations, not yours, them. So you have to connect with them on an emotional level. And once you have the emotion, only then can you nudge the last step, which is the action, which is to draw them closer to you, reach out to you, invite you, DM you, even to request a chance to invite you for an interview, invite you for a conference, to speak on the stage. Everything, any action that you want is preceded by emotion, is preceded by attention, and it follows this specific pathway. So you're probably wondering, okay, Rahila, what do we do? What do we do in each of these stages of grabbing the brain and engaging the brain of decision makers? Well, door number 1, attention. The brain is asking while it's scrolling the feed. You know how you scroll the feed, and if you're on LinkedIn, you're scrolling the feed, or if you're on LinkedIn and you're searching for people, you know, your profile after profile, like where do I stop? Where do I want to focus my attention on? So here are some 3 tips. You need to first, if you want the attention, you need to break the pattern. Look at what everyone else is doing in your market, in your industry, and do the opposite. If everyone in your niche, in your industry, in your field is dull, gray, boring, right, plain, no color, you want to do the opposite. You want to be colorful. You want to be bright. You want to be vibrant, right? Whatever everyone is doing, think, how can I sound different? How can I look different? How can I show up differently? Because the brain only pays attention to things that break the pattern, that stick out like a sore thumb. I remember one time I was doing assessment centers for a large Engro. In fact, it was Engro, and we were in Islamabad. And a lot of the engineers had come for the assessment center, and all the engineers in Islamabad, they're very polished, suit, boot, you know, and they all practically looked the same. You couldn't really tell kaun kya hai. They look like cookie cutter copies. But one guy, I still remember him today. This one guy, he was in a suit, but this guy had a big head of curly hair. Right? Big head of curly hair. While everyone else had was clean, groomed, short hair, he had a big curly head of hair. And guess what? In the discussions after the assessment center, sitting with the decision makers, the hiring managers, everyone remembered that guy. And he got selected. Because he grabbed attention. So he grabbed attention, they paid more attention to him, they focused more on him, and they remembered him more. So that is a critical technique. So break the pattern. What everyone is doing, zigging, you want to break it, you want to zag. So when they zig, you want to zag. You want to go the opposite direction. Something unique that sticks out from everyone else. Also, you want to signal relevance. Why should they pay attention to you? Why are you important? Talk about their pain, their frustration. Don't talk about, oh, I need a job. No one cares. What is their problem that you have the solution for? That's relevance. That's your signaling to them that I'm important for you to pay attention to, right? So, and be distinct, be unique. That's what solidifies the attention. So door number 1, grab attention. And only once you get past door number 1, does the brain give you an opportunity even for door number 2. So you're knocking on door number 2 now, which is emotion. And the brain is essentially, of the decision maker, is asking, okay, I'm paying attention now. Does this person even matter? Is it even important for me to pay this attention? Should I continue paying attention or should I leave now? Okay, now that it grabbed my attention, do I continue or do I bounce? Does it matter to me? So you need to create meaning. You need to create pull, not by talking about you, by talking about them. And you need to feel relevant, current. You understand what's going on right now, what's going on in the world, what's going on in the industry, how it's impacting them. So when you're posting, when you're talking, it's not, oh, I attended a CFA, summit event. Who cares? Why is this important? For the decision makers that you're trying to grab the emotional engagement of, that they need to continue focusing on you. So make yourself relevant for them, important for them, trigger their curiosity, right? So these are all emotions that you have to grab. And once you've gotten their curiosity, once you've established your importance, meaning for them, the brain then allows you to move on to door number 3, which is the action. Okay, you got me. You got the attention, you got my attention, you got me emotionally. Now what do you want me to do? If you don't direct the brain, tell it literally what to do, it's not going to do anything. So we all have our nice profiles, but we don't have any CTAs. We don't have any call to actions. So there's a lot of sections in your profile where you can put a CTA. The featured section, right? If I ever get invited back, I'll go into that deeper, but you need to tell them what to do. And in your about summary, you need to tell them what to do. DM me, call me, email me, download my report of your industry that gives you the top 10 factors to focus on. You need to tell them what to do, okay? So, and make it easy for them. Make it super easy. Have the link there embedded in your feature section, right? Guide them step by step the next action to take. So door number 3, action. Now the question comes in, okay, now we understand the brain's 3 doors. We remember what they are. Door number 1, attention. Door number 2, emotion. Door number 3, action. And they all end in shun. So it should be easy to remember. Now the question is, what do we do on LinkedIn? How do we optimize our LinkedIn profiles for attention, for emotion, and for action? So let's do some practical fixes. And so on LinkedIn, we got to work with the brain. Your headline of your LinkedIn profile follows you everywhere you go on LinkedIn. When you leave a comment, when you make a post, when you DM, when you send a connection request, they see your picture and they see your headline, right? The little beginning of your headline. That is the space where you have to win attention. The banner, okay, once you have attention and people are now, okay, let me follow through, let me click on this profile, and they land on your profile, the first thing they see, we are visual creatures. 80% of the brain's processing, sensory processing area is dedicated to visual sensory input. Your banner. Your banner needs to create the emotion, the relevance, the importance, the curiosity. What's in it for me? Why do I need to further dive into this profile? That is the job of your banner. And then once you have gotten their emotion and they dive in to read further into your about summary, that's where you need to nudge them towards the action. So LinkedIn can be mapped to the brain, how the brain processes information. And if you understand this, you can then optimize your LinkedIn profile to make it brain friendly, and especially the brains of the decision makers you're trying to influence. So So your banner, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about your banner. It has to establish the identity visually, immediately, right away. So any logos, any accolades, any things that establish your credibility visually, not with words. You want symbols there. And you need to state a solution on your banner. What do you have to offer them? That's the signal. You want to pull them in with your banner. Your headline has to be fast, clear, relevant. You don't want a headline that is like 5 rows down. No. You want a headline that's maximum 2 rows or shorter. Fast, clear, relevant for them. What's the problem you solve for them? And then your about needs to answer the question, why you, why should I trust you, and what should I do next? Those are the 3 questions. Now, I want you to do your own LinkedIn audit. Since you guys are CFAs, auditing is your second nature. You want to rate yourself. Your headline, is it easy to understand what problem you solve? Or is it just a bunch of accolades and titles that you're hoping someone will invest their brain energy and figure it out, which no one is going to do? Your banner, does it create meaning for them? Does it establish why you are important for them? What problem you can solve for them? Does it pique their curiosity to learn more for themselves? Okay. Your about, does it have some type of call to action? Does it drive them, nudge them to reach out to you, to email you, to download something that you have on your profile in the featured section? And your posts as well, they should be doing these same things. Attention, emotion, action, relevance for them, not you. Okay, it's never about you. It's always about the person you're trying to influence through your online presence. So I want you to fix your headline. If you can draft it now, do it now. I want very simple 3 parts. I help. Who do you help? Do you help senior leadership teams? Do you help the CEO? Do you help a specific type of industry, a specific type of organization, a specific type of sector? So be very specific. Call out the who you want the attention of. Because when someone calls us out, calls us by name, we listen. So you need to call them out. Who do you help? How do you help them? What do you get them? What's the result? Right? What do? Do you reduce something? Do you increase something? Do you optimize something? So here's where you are going to use the results that you deliver. Through what? Maybe other people are doing the same thing as you, but what is unique about you? Is it a specific experience you have? A specific methodology you're certified in? What is special about why can you solve it faster, easier, and better than the next person? Through the how, your methodology. So if you can capture this in your headline, that's all you need. Remember, the headline's job is not a CV. The headline's job is only one job, and it is to grab attention. So fix your headline. Now, for the DM, I want you to DM me. Find me on LinkedIn because I have a special present for you. Find me on LinkedIn. I'm going to show you my profile. Okay, so it's Rahila /Narejo. And if you go to my profile, okay, hopefully you can see this. Okay, you can see my headline, you can see my banner, right? You can see my even the profile photo. There's a lot of neuroscience behind every single element here. So if you send me a connection request, I'm going to accept it, and then DM me the word banner. Whoever DMs me the word banner, I am going to send you a link to a special banner pack of templates. I've created editable templates on Canva. I'm going to send you this template, and you can go and you can go through, select one that resonates with you, edit it, put your own picture, put your own tagline, put your own little headline there. So there's a lot of examples here for you to follow, right? And upload your new LinkedIn banner. And then tag me. I want you to tag me that I've done it so I can check it out and give you some feedback as well. All right. So DM me the word banner, connect with me. I will accept your connection. DM me the word banner, and immediately I will send you a special link just for you guys for this template pack. So you can create your own custom banner and get the attention and emotion of the decision makers you're striving for. So let's wrap it up. We talked about 4 specific things, right? Talked about how this world of work is very different now because of AI. Everyone has this advantage, but you need to not just use AI, you need to use it with an understanding of the human brain. Being qualified is no longer an advantage. Merit is no longer a competitive advantage. That is the bare minimum to play this game. You need to understand how to grab the brain's attention, how to engage the brain emotionally, and how to nudge the brain to take action in order to accelerate your career in the direction you want it to go. So get busy, start working on your LinkedIn profile, connect with me, send me a DM, grab that banner template, update your banner, update your headline, tell LinkedIn, act like an expert LinkedIn profile writer, and here is my profile right now. Upgrade my about summary to make it actionable, and LinkedIn will write you a beautiful about summary. Copy paste that in, and now you are ready to play the game. Okay, before you were not even ready. I hope you are understanding that your visibility is not vanity sign. It's not like, oh, dekho, ye apne aap ko kitna samajh. Visibility is a mandatory assignment today. You have to be visible. I always like to ask people, if a tree falls in a forest and no one was there to witness it, did the tree even fall? No. So similarly, you could be the most qualified, which I'm sure you are, the most competent, the most beautiful, the nicest person in the world. But if nobody knows you even exist, you don't. So use selection psychology in your favor and win this game on LinkedIn. So thank you so much. I hope you found value. I'm handing it back over to you.
Thank you, Rahila. A big round of applause for this time. I think you've summed up a very, very deep topic into very simple steps for everyone needs to understand. And I think this was, I think you could actually have a 3-hour session. Please, thank you so much, Rahila, for joining us online. Hopefully we can engage with you more later on. Are there any questions from the audience? So we'll just wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to catch up with you soon. And yeah, a big round of applause again.
My pleasure. All the best. Great to connect with all of you. Looking forward to connecting. Take care.
My name is Sarwat Esser. I'm the Executive Director with the CFA Society Pakistan. And I am the moderator of this session. And today our discussion will focus on grabbing the question is, on alarm people's minds, which is what is on the mind of the hiring managers, especially in the investment industry. So we'll explore what are the red flags that stand out, and what are the common mistakes that candidates make, and even that how to stand out within that program. So I'm joined by a very opposite panel, and I will request my first guest, Ms. Florence Silva, to please join me on the stage. Under applause. Florence Silva is Chief Human Resource Officer of Hugo Lab. She's an experienced professional with 35 years of diversified experience in the financial sector, ranging from credit risk, finance, human resources. She's been, because she started her career with HSBC and moved on to work with Citibank, Royal Bank of Scotland, Easy Pasa Digital Bank, and House of Lee, GSK, and she has a very diversified experience. So thank you, Guru, for joining us. Our next speaker is Syed Wajahan Hashmi. Please join us. He serves as the regional SOE talent acquisition and Karachi leader for BY, MENA, and Pakistan. He's a highly experienced professional, HR professional with extensive experience across a range of human resource functions, having worked with reputable global organizations in the Middle East and Pakistan. Our last speaker is Roxana Nerillos, our CFA. Please, Roxana, join us on the stage. Roxana is Chief Treasury and Alternate Investments, Rakami Islamic Digital Bank. She's also a former board member of Civil Society Pakistan. She's a former group head of Treasury and Financial Institutions at Bank. In her previously, she has also worked with ADB, BMA Capital, Equity Funds, and the Standard Chartered Bank. Thank you, Roxana, for joining us. So, thank you all for being here. And let me just begin with a broader question. How has hiring lens evolved in the last few years? So when we graduated and when I started doing Shorter, there were 13 job boards in the country. So is CFA still a differentiator, or is it a baseline expectation? So my question first, who will take the question first?
Yeah, thank you. All right, so let me tell you something. When I started working, which was about, 38 years ago, I don't remember कि मैंने interview में क्या जवाब दिए थे and कैसे select हो गई. So when I think today कि क्या सवाल पूछे होंगे, उस वक्त मुझे क्या आता था and मैंने क्या जवाब दिए. So many years later, I feel that having a qualification, whether it's a CFA or a CA or an MBA, these are just now baseline. Just gets you the foot in the door. In fact, door pe bhi nahi, just gets your foot into the first test, the selection. Okay, ye bare minimum hai. Earlier, if you were a CA, and it was a sought after thing, that if, like she says, if there were like 12 or 13 or 15 the, so all multinationals at that time would obviously want to grab those people because those were forbidden fruit. But today, because there are loads of people, loads of students who become chartered accountants, who get the CFA certifications, diplomas, degrees, etc. So for you, the differentiator today will be, what is the passion behind doing what you did? Okay, just because CA nahi kiya to CFA kar diya, CFA nahi kiya to kuch aur kar diya, that should not be the reason for doing it. You should be passionate enough to know what you want to do, and then later when you're asked, you should be able to respond. That this is why I did it, this is where I want to be, so that when people listen to you, they understand that this is not just somebody who's done a degree, this is somebody who wants a career, a proper career in this subject. Take care.
Thank you, Poru. So, Roxana, what would you like to add to it? Especially, you are a CFA charter holder and hiring from a new Islamic treasury perspective. Has the bar gone up, or CFA is a differentiator, or is it a baseline expectation?
Thank you, Sarvat. First of all, I would let me add actually how the CFA is a differentiator. Initially, this is around 25 years back. Now that 25 years back, obviously MBA had the value, and I did my CFA charter actually. CFA charter was and has been and will be differentiator actually. The reason being that any employer hiring right now won't be looking at the MBA and BBA anymore, because that is a generalized skill. Me as a hiring manager, when I am looking to add my team, I'm looking at the specific skills actually. I am looking at how good person is on the financial side and everything, and what value addition that would be. That value actually is not coming from MBA. My own experience actually, this stage I am sitting right now, CFA has been the significant contributor. I'm like, the CFA opened a lot of doors for me, be it on the hiring, be it on the company's board of directors and everything. The CFA was one of the most important factor which got me obviously foot into the door. However, second thing, the most important thing when we are looking to hire people is definitely the passion. And that passion, unfortunately, we do not see as hiring managers into the new generation anymore. So whenever we'll be hiring, one of the important things, degree is also important, but how passionate you are about the job and how resilient actually you are to survive into that market which has a lot of stress and volatility. So these are one of the two differentiator factors which I would say that are needed from the hiring perspective. And over the time, you said that how the demand of the hiring managers have changed in the last 5 to 10 years. Besides the CFA charter or any technical degree you have, now any hiring manager who is going to look at you is going to look at the solutions actually. And when they are going to ask you, they're not going to ask the numbers anymore, because they know that if you're a CFA chart holder, you already know the number game. They want to understand the solutions. They do not want to focus on the problems. They want to understand what value actually you will bring to the company, and how passionate you are to contribute to the long-term goals of the company. That is how we have seen the shift in last 5.
So, how about your perspective on the same question? How is the hiring landscape evolved at its leisure appreciate?
I want to add something here, just to build on what she said, that everything that you say has to be actionable. So just don't talk about, as she says, numbers. Talk about how you would be able to help that company. If you're going to that company, you're a CFA, आप उसकी balance sheet, profit and loss, ये सारी चीजें पहले से देखें. See where you can add value. What is really going on there, and then talk intelligently about what you have seen in the financials of that company. When you show that kind of an interest, people who are looking at you will understand that this person is serious. So there is an element of seriousness, passion, जो कि नजर आ जाएगा immediately.
Thank you, Puru, for the insight. So, Bajaj Sahab, you have hired a lot of people in the recent past. What is your perspective on the same question? How has hiring evolved, and is CFA a differentiator?
Assalamu alaikum, first of all. Very, very happy and very excited to see lots of our future leaders. Probably I am the second HR postgraduate other than you're sitting in front of financial people, so you're a bit nervous. How important and how relevant CFA is. Having this event in a working day, it steps me out from my office, tells you how important CFA is. So I think that gives you the relevance. Leaving all my meetings behind and being coming over here, speaking to you, shows how important you people are for me. I may talk a bit biased towards more EY, but I'll try to be neutral saying that, what the expectations, what employer expects. I'm sure that you all have your own backgrounds, own motivations, how you are going to attract. There has been, even in the last session, Rahila has covered a lot, but as an employer, as a hiring manager's point of view, we all wants to know that how you're going to present yourself. And you have got two opportunities. One is the resume, that's your first profile, that how you make it. And it shows that whether is it you or whether it's somebody else has created or whether you have taken technology to customize it. The second opportunity is the interview. And there are, obviously, we will come later on that, what are do's and don'ts and how you can make yourself stand out from the crowd. For me, as a regional recruiter who handles Pakistan as well as Middle East and beyond, CFA is extremely important and very highly, qualified, degree or accreditation that you can take. And firms like us, we do give values to these, profile because it gives you insights, about what you do, what you analyzed, what you evaluate. And then if you would be able to translate it into the action verbs, that what you have done, and as my colleague has mentioned, that, what values that you have added and what you are willing to, that's important. That's how, the mystery develop between the candidate and the employer.
Red flags do you see in finance and investment roles that are not sure in other industries? Are they behavioral or ethical red flags? Well, how would you like to highlight?
Well, the first red flag is, of course, the way you communicate and how confident you are. Whether if you're confident enough and you can really speak whatever you have written in your resume and not have, look, it's okay to have AI assist you with your resume. It's okay to polish it. It's all right. But after AI has done its job, at least take a look and read through it. That, okay, this is what is written. Because many a times I see that AI ne ye kar to diya and the resume comes to me, and when the person is sitting in front, the person is talking slightly different. And I said, ye to aapne yahi likha. Ji, ye bhi karta hu. So authenticity, be authentic. If there's something that you do not know, say that I do not know, or I have not explored it yet, rather than BSing, okay? Because ye immediately pata chal jata hai. So be authentic, communicate well, be confident, learn about the company that you're going to, all right? Make sure that you know everything about the company. Ab to websites hain, jaake aap padhein, dekhein. Also learn about the markets. आप CFA हैं तो आपको इंटरेस्ट रेट्स, इन्फ्लेशंस, इक्विटीज़, हर चीज़ का पता होना चाहिए और हर चीज़ में you should be able to articulate. All right? If somebody asks you what is the interest rate climate of the economy today, आपके पास जवाब होना चाहिए. ठीक है? And that should not be just your book knowledge. It should be what you think. And it's okay. अगर वो आपका hiring manager नहीं समझता कि आपका point of view सही है या नहीं है, it is still your point of view. You can say कि मेरे हिसाब से ये है, so that we know that this person also has a mind and this person also has an opinion, and whether the opinion is right, wrong, whatever, आपने share किया है और आपके basis क्या हैं.
The biggest red flag for me would be disconnect between the resume and the person. So sometimes we get the resume and the resume does not match with the personality, as Peru said. So that is the first. But the second, which is also equally important, is that if you're coming for an interview and you haven't done your research about the company you are appearing, plus you haven't done research about the job you are appearing for the interview, that is, I think, second biggest red flag. And if the person which is who is coming actually to give the interview and does not know about my company or any company they are going to, I think that would be the very solid rejection point for me.
Yeah, a red flag. Being a global organization, we always talk about professionalism, integrity, and be open. Respecting. And I believe that these are those values which relevance with CFA as well. When it comes to professionalism and integrity, and this is absolute. Valuable for organization for which currently I'm working in. And by the way, it's across the board, not only with my organization. It's being so. Please, these are those things which are very, very important. These are basics. Please do not move out from your basics. It's all right. If you have not played full part in any project, be very vocal. Tell what part that you have contributed in a particular project. Tell about what are your contributions and what your rewards. I have seen people, they have been very they do a lot when it comes to resume writing, and with the experience that we have, or with the experience recruiter has, they ascertain very quickly that whether this person is making up or whether this person has already been involved in. So yeah, for me, red flag is integrity. This is absolute basic, and that should be the core of your career. Talking about resumes, as I said, these are very important when you are keeping a track of your career record. I have seen, and it is not very common, where people has a different career history showing on LinkedIn, and they have a different when it comes to professional resume where they are applying for their positions. In EY, we do give lots of attention to. And let me say here that a number of experienced people who has reached to offer stage, we have withdrawn our offer because we see that there is a disconnect, or they have mentioned different information on when it comes to LinkedIn. However, when they mention resume, so it is extremely important. Companies like us or a global company, it's very important. Whether you have a career break, do mention that. There is nothing wrong in that. But please do not make sure that your LinkedIn, which we consider as a professional network, your professional qualification, your professional profile has to be absolutely accurate. When we get to know about such information, unfortunately, we have come to a point where we have withdrawn our offer, especially at a very senior position. So these are those things which, as I said, not very common practices, but as I said, in the industry that we are working in, be open, be yourself, be honest, and make sure that, whosoever you are, your resume reflects the same.
Thank you, Jack. And I would add that CFE Charter stands for integrity, ethics, and professional excellence. So when you're giving your exams, there are lots of subjects that if we cover, generally if you did not pass your ethics portion, you probably will not get your charter. No matter how good you are at fixed income, equity, and portfolio construction, etc. So moving on, as you've mentioned, you have, when we talk about management of interviews, so there might be a very strong candidate, and what are common mistakes? Like, for example, if you're failed, if you have multiple attempts to pass the exam, how should you handle that kind of situation? And what are the common mistakes that a very strong, good candidates make? West.
Okay, so if you've not passed your exam the first time, and if it's taken you 2 years to do it, so obviously there has to be a reason, right? So be authentic in your reason. Say that you were not good at that subject, you applied again, you studied again, you were more serious about it, rather than giving, flusy answers. There are kids we know कि जो first time में नहीं attempt कर पाते, which is all right. Not all the best chartered accountants and CFAs in the world passed the first time. So that's okay. There's no shame in it. So be bold enough और बता दें कि I took this much time, or this particular subject was tough for me, but then show them how you applied yourself and how you passed it. One thing more I want to add is, most of you do internships before you start your first jobs. So in those internships, make sure those internships are meaningful and they give you actual work to do. Many a times companies just take interns and they don't really give them meaningful work. So when that happens to you, make sure you go to your hiring manager and you say that I want actual meaningful work so that I can talk about it later. Right? Just writing interned at Unilever or interned in such a and writing the name of a great multinational place so that हम उस पे impress हो जाएं. अब वो ज़माना नहीं है कि हम ये नाम देकर impress हो जाते हैं. हम actually जानना चाहते हैं कि आपने किया क्या है. ठीक है? So be forthcoming, be forceful. This is your career. You have to take it in your hands rather than waiting for somebody else to do something for you.
So Rosanna, currently same question, what are the knock pitfalls? And we had to start that, they won't get any silly mistakes and, they won't get integrity issues. But what do you feel is the common mistakes even at stock?
Yeah, it's okay. So it's not about actually how many attempts actually you did to pass the exam for me. One of the very common mistakes when you are on the senior level actually and when you are appearing on the senior positions is the communication and the confidence and how you present your case. There are a number of times actually when we are interviewing for the senior positions, but one thing which is lacking is the confidence, because when you are onto the middle management or the senior management, the numbers, the degree is left behind. Now is the time where it's a strategy execution by the company actually. The groundwork is done by the junior team. You are there to make the strategy and present the strategy and convince the board. There I am looking at the confidence in the communication and the presentation. If the person does not have the convincing power, if the person cannot convince me his case that why I should hire him, how would that person be able to convince maybe my board or my client? And how would that person be able to represent my company? So on the senior level, what I am going to look at is presentation, communication, confidence, and how passionate you are actually to join the team.
I just want to add one thing more, sorry. Be curious, okay? Curiosity will make you explore. So be curious about everything that you're doing. Ask questions. It's not that जो आपने सीखा है वही आपको practical life में लेके जाएगा. नहीं, practical life is very different. All that you've learned when you start working, you'll feel कि यार ये तो what is all this I'm doing? I never learnt all this. All this was never in my मैंने तो ये subjects किए ही नहीं हैं. This is all new. But if you're curious and if you can unlearn and relearn, that's the best skill that you will always have throughout your career. You may move from industry to industry and each industry is different. So don't say कि मैंने इस industry में ये सीखा है, so this is the right thing. Be modest enough to unlearn and relearn. When I've been doing HR for a number of years now, and I've been working in different industries. So believe me, each industry had different nuances, had different people, had different, the caliber of people was different, and the way people were treated was different, and the way expectations were different. And the ladder, जो promotion की ladder है, वो भी different थी. तो banking में किस तरह handle करना है, pharmaceutical में किस तरह handle करना था लोगों को. I've handled pharmaceutical में वो जो क्या unions, those were awful. But I learned that I could not say कि I'm a banker, I'm a suited booted person who मैं unions के साथ कैसे बात करूं. So I went on the shop floors, inside the factories, spoke to all of them. और exactly मेरी उर्दू इतनी साफ नहीं थी तो मैं बिल्कुल ही वो बेनज़ीर भुट्टो की तरह बोलती थी. But I still made sure that I spoke in Urdu so that they would understand what I'm trying to say. Right? So learn to adapt, learn to be different everywhere that you go.
Thank you, Guru, for that insight, because the only constant in our lives is change these days, and it's a very deep piece of advice to you in every aspect of your life. So again, Raja, same question.
Just to add to what my colleague has mentioned, have you heard the term growth mindset? How many?
So there's a book about it to add. Do read that. It's a
Yes.
very good book.
So growth mindset, it's all about what our colleagues has mentioned about adaptability. You don't feel that, it's the constant, the change is continuous. You need to adapt to yourself. Adaptability, agility, and continuous learning is something that, it's always been. And with the way that the technology changing the workplace, and the organizations are adopting, it's extremely important that you as a human being needs to be adaptable. Because there is a fear nowadays that machine is going to be, taking the place of a human being until and unless those who are continuous learner and believe in a continuous growth. If you are among that category, you can't be obsolete. Trust me. With the experience that I have, I can tell you. But yes, there are those people, those who always and never wanted to be. You mentioned about, the banking industry, you mentioned about those professionals who never wanted to be. Probably if I may give an example of my father, he worked with an organization for 30 years. And when I told him that, I'm changing, a job after 5 years, and he was looking at me, he said, "Are you crazy?" At that time. But see, with the change of the trends, with the change of the dynamics, you have to be adaptable. And please adopt the growth mindsets. I have been interacting with lots of professionals at the very senior level, and they are unable to give us, any sort of, the indication that, they have been a growth mindset people. Because we as an organization or any organization are looking out for those people who are adaptable and has a growth mindsets. About the interview, what I have observed, I can understand that you all have a very, very hard skills, which we call financial analyst, financial modeling, VME, valuations. So there is absolutely no doubt about your hard skills. And there is another skills called soft skills. I want to stress on all of you, which will differentiate you and would be able to crack, on the interview, is your soft skills. Whether it's a communication, whether it's your personality, whether it's your aptitude, this is what we as an hiring manager or as a recruiter would like to look into, that what are your soft skills? Are you able to articulate what you have done? What are your contributions? And I'm speaking to all, those who are experienced or those who are fresh graduates. What efforts, what contributions you have done when you were involved in a final year project? What was your contributions? What were your help? How did you help your teammate who was, struggling and who was unable to come up to the desired expectations from your team lead? So it's extremely important that you give 100% attention to your soft skills, and that's a very glaring, evidences or the experience that I have, where I've seen people fumble in the final, presentation. And this is what I feel that, I feel sorry for those people who are extraordinary genius when it comes to technical skills and knowledge, but they are unable to express themselves. So that's a message to me and that's the huge red flag for me as a recruiter, that when I'm giving your profile to my hiring manager, I give this with a confidence. It's a very fancy, very attractive, very appealing resume, but when we are speaking to that person up front, we have to end that, that conversation in a much, earlier time as we expected. So that I feel that, where I would not say, all, but I see that, I feel talent from Pakistan when our Middle East clients or when our Middle East hiring partner And you all remember, when it comes to Middle East, it's all about competition. And the competition has grown from national level to international level, where many organizations are looking for nationals, many organizations are looking for bilinguals who speak Arabic, and then, we have left with a competition where if you are unable to express yourself, tell them what you have done, what you have achieved, and what you are going to do joining us. Nobody else can help you.
Good communication skills, articulate well, and with that, I would like to thank all of you, and I'd like to thank our panelists, Raja, Nusar, and Guru. Thank you for joining us, and a big round of applause for all of that. I'm the resident of Sultan Pakistan, Mohammed Hassan.
Thank you, Ms. Furu. First, Majad Saab, thank you so much. Rukhsana, thank you so much. It was extremely insightful, and I also learned several things because we are two technical professionals, and hearing a lot of soft skills is very important, and I think that's what has been emphasized. Just being a professional, being a finance professional, I just have one thing to say. While Sarbat has recommended all of you to pursue CFA exam and CFA qualification, I would rather say that first be clear about your ambitions, be clear about your passion, because CFA is of course a finance qualification, and it should be very clear that you want to be in the finance career. So it's not necessarily, of course, investment management only. We have a lot of our charter holders working as corporate bankers as well. But again, the core strength of their careers is they are very good at financial analysis, reading financial statements, understanding macro conditions, and that reflects and adds to their careers. So pursue, first of all, understand what are your strengths are. Being an average person and just pursuing CFA half-heartedly while it does not support your personality or your passions probably is not going to help you in your career. However, if you want to pursue career in finance, that I can assure you that is going to be a great competitive advantage as well, and that is not just for competitive reasons only. That adds a real value to you because you really are able to do your job better than those who have not. So it's a real practical qualification and for a practical purpose. And in developed markets, this course is done by people who have some experience into the industry, because they are very clear about where their career is going. That's why it's a professional qualification, not an academic qualification. So qualifications like ACCA might be an academic qualification, but CFA is a pure professional certification designed to help professionals grow in their career once they have chosen a particular area. So with that, I just want to quickly share one thought. I'm taking too much time out of Sarbat's schedule, but one thing that we are noting, I think very clearly in our profession now, is the use of AI that is coming in our jobs as well, and we are embracing it. And to be honest, this is a great opportunity for everyone, because those who are early to adapt, learn, able to utilize it. I think when we were in early careers, Excel used to be a thing jisme if you are good at Excel and you are able to use it properly and very well, that was a clear advantage. But now it's an open field because it's like a new thing for everyone. 20-year professional or a fresh graduate. The only difference probably is the professional knowledge that we have. So the seriousness of your academic education along with AI is going to take you a long way. So be open, be vigilant on how and where the new technologies, the new developments in AI are happening. And I think the way the Anthropic and the OpenAI are developing, I think every other week or month or year, they have something new big technology unveiled, which just reshapes and resets the future of the industry. Just an example, I think until now, Chat GPT, now my 12-year-old daughter is using Chat GPT for making her presentations, and every answer is there. So you are most resourceful generation ever until now, because you have everything on your tips. But that means that you also have the responsibility, or I would say a need to stay updated to how it is evolving, because now Chat GPT is being replaced by Claude, and the markets are talking about another, I think that's called Mythos, something like that, that has been released for very limited institutions by Anthropic, which is again, since they are very selective, they are scared about the implications it can have if it is just allowed to the public. So they are experimenting with certain organizations, and they are also startled by the results. So extremely big developments are happening everywhere, and I think being open to that is also very important. I just shared it because we are also, I think, quite moved by what is happening around, and for us these are new things, and we are very excited when you use Claude in our financial analysis. So let me just share a very candid experience. So when we first used Claude a few months ago, our thought was, we will not be hiring probably many financial analysts. We'll have to shorten the team because now Claude is so powerful. But as we move forward, we realize now we need to expand the team, because this is taking everyone's productivity curve seriously up. So when everybody is using Claude, then that means then you have to have more competitive advantage. So when it is being so productive resource, then we need people who understand to use it and take the productivity curve up. So I think knowledge, productivity, the level of analysis will continue to go up. That was like probably 10 years ago or 5 years ago, but now it is on the upside. So opportunity, great opportunity for you. But at the end, the crux is that if you understand your profession, your strengths, your core courses well, only then you will be able to utilize, because AI is going to, at times, going to mislead you as well. So if you do not have very strong core understanding of your core profession, you might not be able to understand where it is going to guide. This was something which I think sort of an advice as well. I think few months ago, Python was considered to be, now it is very important. And I think things will continue to evolve, and you will need to continue updating these skills, which I'm not sure being taught by the schools, but these are more self-learning. And that's why I said your most resourceful generation in terms that everything is available and everything is accessible to everyone. So if you are not adopting, you are being incompetitive. And that's where I think the continued education comes in. So CFA is very core finance qualification, will give you very core understanding of core concepts, being able to use into, again, AI, and how the profession is evolving will ultimately determine your success in your career. So with that, thank you so much.
Thank you. Asim, could you just join us here for the distribution of the plaques? I would like just to remind you again that this ICANN QR code, if you scan it, you will have questions to answer, which will help you understand whether a CFA is the right qualification for you. Thank you.